This is a Graham Sorg presentation in association with 60 Minutes UK.
Hello and good morning, my name is Boris Wellington with 60 Minutes UK. Our next story dates back almost 6,500 years ago to the ancient civilization of Sumer. This civilization was founded in the Mesopotamian region of the Fertile Crescent, sitting between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The Sumerian people largely influenced Babylonian mythology through one of the earliest systems of writing known as cuneiform. Cuneiform is a form of wedge-shaped writing that can be distinguished on clay tablets by its unique marks. Babylonian mythology is a set of stories outlining the activities of Babylonian gods, goddesses, and heroes. These stories served many social, political, and ceremonial purposes. Also, these myths explained natural phenomena. And now, for more on this fabulous recounting of Babylonian mythology, is our 60 Minutes UK history correspondent, Arthur Fitzgerald. Thanks for having me, Mr. Wellington. The first question one must answer is, who believed in these things, and when? The king of Babylon, Hammurabi, is known for constructing new temples for the gods during the first few years of his reign. His reign as king lasted from 1792 to 1750 BC. During this time, he forced all his people to pay respect to Marduk, the chief god of the Babylonians. He had a great influence on the religion of the Babylonian people during his reign. The second question one must answer is, who are the major gods and what were they known for? What were their powers and responsibilities? What did they look like? Well, there are many gods in Babylonian mythology, but three major gods are Marduk, Tiamat, and Ea. Marduk is known for being the Babylonian king of the gods, the hero god who defeated Tiamat and the forces of chaos and brought order to the universe, which the gods and humans work together to maintain. He has the power to claim souls by touching mortals. He was the chief god of the city of Babylon. Marduk's responsibilities were to preside over justice, compassion, healing, regeneration, magic, and fairness. He is depicted as a human in royal robes carrying a snake dragon and a spade. The second god is Tiamat, who is known for being the mother of the gods, and her body being used to make the world. She has the power of being immortal. She was the goddess of salt waters and chaos. She had the responsibility of warning her children that Apsu was going to kill them if they did not act fast during the Enuma Elish story. Tiamat is often depicted as either a serpent or a dragon. The third god is Ea, who is known for being the shaper of the world. He was the god of wisdom, intellect, and magic. He had the power of being the creator, having devised men as slaves to the gods. His responsibilities were to govern the arts of sorcery and incantation. He was also responsible for making plants grow. Ea is depicted as a bearded god who wore a horned cap and long robes. The third question we must answer is, who were the minor gods worth mention? What about the monsters? What about the heroes? Well, one major god worth mention is Dagon. His cult was largely promoted by the Babylonian king Hammurabi, who claimed that Dagon had allowed him to conquer all of Mesopotamia. A minor goddess worth mention is Anutu. She was believed to aid women in childbirth. Many monsters were also created in the Babylonian mythology. Tiamat was said to have given birth to scorpion men and mare people. The scorpion men are described to have the head, torso, and arms of a man, while having the body of a scorpion. Mare people were either mermaids or mermen. Mermaids are commonly known as aquatic creatures with the head and upper body of a female human and the tail of a fish. A hero of Babylonian mythology was Gilgamesh. He is best known from the Epic of Gilgamesh, when he and his companion Enkidu kill the bull of heaven, after which the gods decide to sentence Enkidu to death and kill him. In the second half of the epic, an anxiety over Enkidu's death causes Gilgamesh to undertake a long and perilous journey to discover the secret of eternal life. The fourth question we must ask is, what were the special places or items present in Babylonian mythology? Marduk's chief temples at Babylon were the Asaugila and the Etemanaki. The Asaugila was a temple, while Etemanaki was a ziggurat, which looked like step pyramids but with a flat top. They both had a shrine of Marduk on the top for people to worship him. This was also a place where the priest would live and make sacrifices. The Babylonian name Etemanaki means in English, house of the platform of heaven and earth. The last question we must ask is, what was one story connected to Babylonian mythology? The Enuma Elish story describes the birth of the gods and the dominance of the chief god, Marduk, and the creation of humanity. The story starts off when Ea and his younger brothers are very noisy and disruptive to their father, Apsu, as he's sleeping. Apsu decides that the solution to the problem is to kill everyone. However, his wife Tiamat intervenes by warning her son, Ea, who then lures Apsu back to sleep and murders him. Tiamat is outraged by the murder of her husband, and she declares war on all the younger gods. Ea and his wife have a son, the god Marduk. Marduk speaks up, offering to fight for the gods and defeat Tiamat on one condition, that he be made absolute king of the gods, having even the power of life and death over his fellow gods. Then Marduk executes Kingu in order to free the gods from any further toil or manual labor. Marduk commands that the gods use Kingu's corpse to construct the first humans, who are to serve the gods by keeping the land worked and by giving the gods appropriate worship and sacrifices.
This has been another Groundswell presentation in association with 60 Minutes UK. Thanks for watching.